Hi, Dana here. Welcome to Sew, Learn, Create. Today's project, we'll be making a Christmas ornament that's shaped like a light bulb. Be sure to check out my Christmas in July playlist for lots of Christmas projects that make great gifts. Also, we're working on trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. So if you haven't done so already, be sure you click the subscribe button. So, let's get started. For the light bulb Christmas ornament, you'll need the following supplies. You'll need 2 pieces of fabric, a front and a back, and you can do them the same fabric or you can do them coordinating fabrics. A small piece of batting or felt will also work. You'll need the light bulb pattern, which I'll put in the description box. You'll need a small piece of ribbon, and then to do the stamped piece in the middle, you'll need a small piece of lighter color fabric so you can stamp on it and be seen really well. You'll need a stamp and a regular stamp pad. You'll also need just a small dab of glue to put your ribbon on. So to get started, we first are going to get this out of the way here, and we're going to stack our fabrics. So we want our bottom fabric with right side down, then we layer our batting, and then we put our top fabric right side up. So we're making kind of a sandwich with our top fabric right side up, batting in the middle, bottom fabric right side out. Then you're going to take your light bulb pattern and we're going to trace around it, and that will be our stitching line. So you're going to trace around it. Your light bulb will be slightly larger because you're actually going to stitch on the line that we trace. And on this fabric, I'm going to use a blue chalk pencil so I can see it a little better, but you could use just a regular number 2 pencil will also work. So I'm just going to trace around. And now I can see my outline of my light bulb. And when we go to the machine, we're just going to stitch all the way around on that blue line. We're also going to prepare our word that goes in the middle. And so anytime you do stamp on something, you want to press your fabric first so that it's nice and flat. Just makes it work better. I'm going to turn my fabric this way. And I'm choosing the Joyful stamp, and I'm just using a regular stamp pad. Doesn't have to be a permanent ink, it's just a regular stamp pad. I'm going to put my ink on there. And I'm just going to stamp right here. Now to make that permanent, I'm going to take a hot iron and I'm just going to iron right on top of it. And what that does is it sets the ink so that it won't, if this were to get wet, it wouldn't wash away. Then I'm going to trim this up so that it'll fit right here in the middle. I'm going to trim away that serrated edge here. And I can test to make sure that it's the right size by just kind of placing it on my pattern. And remember, your light bulb will be slightly larger than this, so I think that will work. You just want to leave enough room to just stitch around and secure that in place. So let's go to the machine. Now we're at the machine, and remember, we're going to stitch right on that blue outline that I made of my light bulb. I like to start kind of at the bottom, and I'm just going to stitch all the way around, going through all of my layers, my backing, my batting, and my top fabric. And when you come to the curves, you can lift your presser foot and turn it slightly to go around that curve. When I get to the top, I'm going to leave my needle down, going to lift and turn and do my straight edge here. Stop in that corner once again, lift and turn, and go back the other direction. And if you get off the line a little bit, don't worry about it. It's a Christmas ornament and it's supposed to be fun, not frustrating. And I am going to do a back stitch. I've come back to my stitching and I'm going to back stitch just slightly to lock those stitches. I clip my threads. I did put a pin in the center of this to secure it before I started stitching. So now I'm going to take my word, going to place it in the center here. I like to clip my threads as I go because it just makes everything stay neater and doesn't get tangled up. So now my word is right here and I'm just going to stitch all the way around it. Again, I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to stitch pretty close to that edge, as close as I'm comfortable. Back stitch at the beginning, get to the corner, needle down, lift and turn. And I'm just going to keep going all the way around. Then I'm going to go right back over that stitching that I started and back stitch once again. I'm going to clip my threads and I'll meet you at the mat. Now we've stitched all the way around our light bulb and added our greeting right here in the middle. And on this one, I used a patterned fabric to stamp on, and my original one, I used just a regular muslin fabric. So remember, you can stamp on any fabric. It doesn't have to be a solid. It can have a pattern to it. So the next thing we do is we're just going to cut around the outline of this ornament. And we want to leave about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch around so that we're not cutting on that stitching line, because then of course it would come apart. And you see here, I stitched just a little bit inside my line. And so to get the shape a little better, I'm going to cut it closer to what the pattern was. And it will all be okay. Because when you cut it, you're going to see the outside edge, not necessarily the stitching line. And you just want to take your time and go slow so that you can be as accurate as possible. Go all the way down. And the tricky part is right here, this curve at the bottom. There we go. And now we have a light bulb. So the last thing you want to do is you want to add a bow. And so I have about 6 inches of ribbon. And I'm just going to tie a bow. And on this one, it's going to have short tails. My original pattern, I did longer tails, but either one will work. And then you're going to just clip the ends. I like to clip mine kind of at an angle, but it's really just your preference, whichever you prefer. And before I add my bow, I want to put my hook on. And to put your hook, you're just going to need a regular Christmas ornament hook. We're going to go to the top about a little larger than a quarter of an inch from this outside edge. And I'm going to put a pin. And I found that that works well to make the hole. Then take your ornament hook, put it through that hole. Be sure you come out the back side, and then you just bend it to secure it. So I've added my hook, and then I'm going to glue my bow right there at the top to kind of make that hook look a little nicer. And I'm going to use tacky glue, and I like to keep mine in a cup because it keeps it upside down. Tacky glue is really thick glue. So if you keep it in a cup upside down, then it's always at the tip. Or you can use just regular Elmer's glue will also work. Just put it right there at the top. And now your Christmas ornament is done. For my patrons, stay tuned for bonus ideas on what to do with this project. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, the link is below. I hope you liked today's project, the light bulb Christmas ornament. Also, be sure and check out my Etsy shop for sewing kits. They make great Christmas gifts and stocking stuffers. See you in the next one. Hi, Dana here. Welcome to Sew, Learn, Create. Oh, stop. I forgot the project.
Did we finish?